Okay, good morning. I'm pretty excited. Got another month here, September. Hope you all had a great first week. And I know we're going in actually second week now too, because we didn't have a meeting last week. Let me minimize this. And I'm going to get started here. Okay, now I think we'll get started here. There we go. I'll put Imelda in charge of the gate and oops, I'm clicking. There we go. All right, so let's get started with Legendary. Stacy's here. Welcome, Stacy.
Thank you, Gina. So good morning. Stacy from Legendary, right next door. I left a couple of cards there in case you guys needed them.
Beautiful.
But I did have some information to share thanks to Greer. So we had a transaction with a Canadian seller. And it was kind of a quick one, and you know the limitations now with the consulate and everything. So we found out that if you use notary scan, Orange Coast Title will actually accept that. So it was quick, and it was rather cheap, wasn't it? Like $50?
Yeah, I think it was notary.cam.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
and so if any of you want the information, I have it, or Stacy obviously has it.
yeah. So it was awesome. It was quick.
And I was online when they were doing it. It was.
And what it was going to cost your client thousands of dollars,
Yeah,
I think.
It was gonna be like $2,100, and there maybe was an additional $500 added on, so $2,600. Because you know, I did my research.
Yeah.
I
Because
saved
of the
them quite a bit of
consulate
money.
being closed.
Yeah.
So they have to get it notarized and then sent to the American consulate to get it authenticated.
They have to
So
fly
it's
there?
No, they mail it and they have to do a return. I mean, it's a process if you don't
Wow.
go the other way. So just thought you guys might want to use that information in case you do have Canadian sellers.
Yeah, we closed in like, from open escrow, it was like 17 days. We closed in 17 days. If we had to go the old fashioned route, it would have added another 30, 35 days.
Yeah, so useful information. And then just taxes are going to start coming out here October 1st. So just be aware of any of your closings that are going to start happening with your sellers because they get upset when we have to do holdbacks. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having a good day. You too.
Bye, Stacy.
Bye. Okay. All right, so I see we also have Karen McMenemy, American Home Shield. Welcome, Karen.
Good morning, everybody. So how many people do we have in person there?
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, about 14.
Nice, okay, good. And we have what, 24 people here online, so that's a good turnout, 40 people total.
It's for Mark Wasserman. They love him.
Is that what it is? Mark is such a special guy, let me tell you.
He is.
We love Mark and Pam. Okay, so I wanted to just give you guys a couple of quick updates. I'm Karen McMenemy with American Home Shield Home Warranty and NHD. Real quick on home warranties. Want to make sure that you guys understand the importance of getting a home warranty on every single property. We are having lots of air conditioning issues this summer. A lot of things. Gina and I actually dealt with one like this where it went out 2 days after closing. And if you haven't told your clients that they can still get a home warranty, even though it wasn't in the contract, if they have to replace that air conditioning unit within the first week of closing and spend $8,000 to $12,000, they're not going to be happy. They're definitely not going to be happy. So help me help you. So let's make sure we're getting home warranties on every property. And, I'm seeing a lot of times the buyers are willing to pay for it themselves. They're having no problem doing that. Sometimes the agent is paying for it. Sometimes they're splitting it. And then sometimes, of course, the seller still pays for it. So even if it's not written in the contract, just know that you can get that on every single property. And please reach out to me if you have any that just closed that you need to get it on there. I can help you do that. Also want to go over Casita Coverage with you. Casita Coverage, I just had one the other day where an agent told me in her 28 years in business in Palm Springs, she never knew that detached casitas were an additional charge. So I want to make sure that everybody knows this. So I'm talking about it in every one of my meetings right now because she had an air conditioning go out in a casita that was completely detached and there was no coverage for it. So I want to make sure you guys understand the Casita Coverage. If it is attached to the home and it shares either a wall or a roof line, we consider it attached. So that would be part of the regular home warranty. There's no additional charge for that as long as everything's under 5,000 square feet. So those are included in the home warranty. So if it's attached by roof line or wall, you don't have to worry about asking for extra coverage. If it is detached from the home and, you know, a standalone casita, then that is going to be an additional $200 charge, you know, up to 750 square feet. Anything over 750 square feet is a warranty of its own. It's considered like a guest house or a second residence on the property. So make sure that you're taking that into consideration when you're writing offers on a property with a detached casita. Add an extra couple $100. Always feel free to reach out to me, even on the weekends. Text me if you're writing an offer and you need a quote. I answer those very quickly. I get a lot of my agents that do that. I have no problem giving you a quick price. I'd much rather give it to you up front so that you can put the right amount in your contract than to have you pay the difference, you know, at closing out of your commission. You guys are all hustling out there. You're working hard. We don't want you to have to fork out your hard-earned money, you know, for a home warranty if you don't need to. So make sure that you guys know that as well. And then just a quick reminder on our NHD product, we've extended our $50 promo to the end of the year for our 50th anniversary. So all NHD reports, guys, are $50. That includes the tax and the environmental. That is half price, guys. So make sure that you're ordering those at the time of listing. There's no charge if it doesn't close escrow. So it doesn't cost your seller anything if it doesn't close escrow. They take the home off the market or, you know, any of those scenarios. So it's basically free if they don't close escrow. So there's no reason not to order that at the time of listing so that you can find out if it's in a flood zone or if it's in a high fire zone. You know, that way you know if you need to do that new disclosure for the fire hardening advisory and defensible space. So happy to help you guys with that. If you need to order it in HD, reach out to me. I'm happy to get those ordered for you as well. And you can text or email me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen. We appreciate you as well. And absolutely, agents, if you are not sure what to order, just reach out, call Karen. She'll ask you a few questions about the house, and then at least you'll know you have the right coverage for your buyer. So thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, we are going to move along. I don't think I saw Melissa yet, but
I'm here.
oh, are you there? Hi, Melissa. I'm sorry. I'm so glad you piped in.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Well, it's a happy Tuesday. So want to let you guys know a little bit about our title toolbox. Many of you guys have already signed up, but many of you have signed up but have not accessed the system. So I'm here today to give you 3 tools on that specific app on the title toolbox. Now, title toolbox is one of our apps that we have available both for the Android, also for iPhone users. So 3 things. 1, you can pull a property profile. In that property profile, at the end of the profile, which I'm gladly will do a training on for a title workshop for you guys. But when you pull a property profile, how easy is it that once you scroll into the property profile, there's a link embedded in the property profile where you can just click on it and get your farm information, known as the next prospective sellers. And what that criteria means is that these are owners that have lived in this, that have owned property surrounding your specific listing or potential listing for within 2.5 miles. And it does a farm for you already. It's already created for you. So you pull an address, 1234 Rainbow Lane in, La Quinta, California, and scroll down to a link where it says farms, next sellers map. Click on it and click on the CSV and boom, download it. Your farm's already done surrounding your property, the property in question. How easy is that? And that's known as the next prospective sellers. The second tool that's embedded also inside the title toolbox is also known as the lead sheet, L-E-A-D, lead sheet. That lead sheet contains within a 2.5 mile radius of a property in question that you're looking up, it's looking for any life events, meaning affidavit of deaths, liens on the property, also divorce, probates, etc. So that's also part of the title toolbox. And thirdly, we have what is known as dynamic stats. The dynamic stats takes over in the title toolbox on any property that you're looking for, and it gives you a 60-month snapshot of what's happened in the past 60 months in that surrounding your property in question. 2.5 mile radius. So for example, let's say you're looking at the Rainbow Street in La Quinta, and within 2.5 miles radius, let's say 3 homes sold 2 years ago in the specific same month. Same thing 3-4 years from now. So it gives you an idea, or it kind of gives you a perspective where sales have been in the past 60-month sales, and it's a graph. So it's actually pretty cool when you actually look at it and kind of study it and hover the statistics, which are also embedded on it because it also tells you the turnover rate. So all that included those 3. And the reason why I'm mentioning those 3 in that title toolbox is that a lot of us are already thinking about the holidays. And I see it every single year. We tend to not want to farm or limit ourselves in farming. This is not the time to stop farming, you guys. This is the time to still continue to farm, be involved, look at the title toolbox of all the information it contains, be present. And the title toolbox can help you in doing so on that. So, other than that, hopefully I will have one-on-ones. I have some for next Tuesday in your office. So if you would like to meet with me, by all means, please let me know. Definitely we can, or get with Imelda as well, and she can write it down so we can have ourselves a one-on-one. But the title toolbox is the next big thing when it comes to the title toolbox, you guys.
Thanks, Melissa. What time will you be here next Tuesday?
The title toolbox, that will be from 11 to 11 o'clock. Yeah, 11.
11 to 11?
Yep. 11 to 11, no, 11 to 2. I'll be there from 11 to 2. So by all means, welcome to. Can you imagine 11 to 11? Yikes.
Yeah, no, perfect. Thank you so very much. And I appreciate you. And no truer words have been said. You cannot, I don't care what month it is, you cannot ever slow down on your farming. It's just
Exactly.
foremost.
Yep,
So
exactly.
thank you so very much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you soon in your office. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Melissa. Okay, moving right along here. Let me get right here. I want to just say congratulations so far for the listing agents in September. You know, we're seeing more listings hitting the market, so that's a great thing. Congratulations, Sue Ferris, Donna Ambrose, Bill and SB, Mark's Real Estate Group, Loopy and Doris, George Lopez team, Stephanie Taylor, Angie, Gary, Sherry Lynn, George Lopez team again, Jesse Thomas, Eileen Stuber. Congratulations to you all. I know you're out there working hard, getting more listings, and we really appreciate it. And you're going to be quite happy you did, because they will sell. Congratulations on September.
Want to do what we did last time?
Sure. Okay. You want me to do the slide?
I'm not smart enough.
I could do the slide. I'm gonna come down here though. There we go. Super duper.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
How was everybody? Okay, so what, let's see, where are we? Yeah, you can stay right there, perfect.
Okay.
So I feel like in my business, things have slowed a bit. Now that's a relative term, right?
Water. Okay, thank you.
I think things have slowed a bit. So what I've seen over the last month or two is 5 or 6 different listings. Still have a lot of people come into the listing. There was one of the Cove that just went into escrow about 2 weeks ago. Had about 30 people through the house and only 2 offers, 1 all cash, 1 FHA. And at least for me, that's what I've been seeing. I've seen a lot of buyers who have become frustrated, maybe on the sidelines. And for me, it's kind of analogous. So in a former life, I was deputy sheriff and I worked in Palm Desert. And this was like late 90s. For those of you that were born. So there was a great bar called Phoebe O'Brien. Anybody remember Phoebe O'Brien?
I think you arrested me there. No, I'm kidding.
I was on Payers Path, right?
Yeah.
And so
God, that's been a
like
long
about
time.
11 o'clock, they encourage us because they were having a lot of problems. They would encourage us to go do bar checks, right? So we walked through and, you know, people weren't being stupid, sorry. Silly. And so, you know, the place was packed. I mean, it was packed. It was like one of the hottest places at the time. There was a line outside. There were people waiting to get in. And that's kind of the way I looked at the market over the last few months. I mean, it's just been crazy, right? People waiting to get in, people lines for people trying to get into houses. And then when I go back at like 1:40 at night, you know, like 20 minutes before closing, and you go and there'd be like 9 or 10 people. There'd be a couple of people dancing the Stairway to Heaven, you know. And then there'd be like 4 or 5 hangers on, like, corneo, dear brother. It's kind of how I feel the market is a little bit. There's still a lot of people kind of hanging on, hoping to find a deal, but let's look at the stats and see if I'm correct. So this is the Coachella Valley median detached home price, okay?
1 second, Mark. Whoever's on the call there, I just want somebody to unmute themselves and tell me if you can hear him, because there was a couple comments that they couldn't hear.
Probably good.
Anyone?
We can hear you now. We can hear
Oh,
you
great.
now.
Thank you so much. All right.
Okay, all right. So this is one of the first charts in the report, and it is the median detached, so single family resident home price, right? And so for August, it was $581,500. So that was the median detached home price. So I went back to some other reports, and I looked at April. So April, the median detached price was $559,750. May it was $580. June it ticked up to $599. July $599, and then August $581,500. So we've seen a little bit of a pullback in prices for single family residents. And if you read the report, that is kind of a typical seasonal thing that we see. We see a little bit of slowing. So the question that we have to ask ourselves and in talking to our clients, is this slight relative slowing, is it just a seasonal effect, or is it something that's going to keep going long term? And hopefully, as we go through these month after month after month, we'll be able to spot the trends, and then be able to speak with our buyers and sellers about what's going on. Okay, so the next slide. The next slide is condos, right? These are attached homes. And interesting, a lot of people that are looking for single family residents that couldn't get into the market, according to the report, are going into condos, right? We've seen some people say, you know what, I just can't get a single family home, I'll look at some condos. And that's what's happened. And in August, the median price of a condo was $373,500. Now that's up 29% for a year over year. It was $289 last year. So another thing we need to keep an eye on. So next slide. There we go. Okay. So this chart, again, for those of you that are new and looking at the report, so on the far right-hand side are the 2006 prices, okay? So we used to call that the high in the market, right? So 06 on the right-hand column, those are the high prices. So 06 was the high. And then the far right column is the percentage from the high, okay? And every city in the Coachella Valley, with the exception of Rancho Mirage and La Quinta, has seen a significant increase from where we were in 2006. But if you read this report monthly and you're paying attention, those fluctuate, right? One of the highest is Palm Springs, so it's 53, almost 54% above the high in 2006 for a single family home. Huge, right? Then if you look in the middle of the chart, 2011 is the low. So that's when the bottom fell out. We had tons of foreclosures and short sales and all of that. So 2011 was the low, and every city, of course, is above that, and substantially. I mean, you have some that are up 30, 40%, almost 42% in Indian Wells. So again, we're seeing a very strong market. Some would say it's not necessarily healthy, but we're seeing a very strong market in the single family market. And if you look down at the next one, those are attached homes and condos. Now, most of those are below the high of 2006. Indian Wells is the one exception. It's at 0%. So it's right at where we were in 2006. But again, as we talked last time, 2006, you just had to have a pulse to get a loan, right? And then people had like 4 and 5 loans, bought boats and RVs and all kinds of cool stuff with all that money. And then they all went away. Okay. Next one. All right, this is really interesting. So this is detached and attached total sales. Okay. So this is something that we really need to keep an eye on as we go forward. So this is a 3-month moving average. Okay. So in August, the previous 3 months, we had 976 total homes sold. That's condos and single family. So 689 single family plus 287 condos. So 976. And so I went back and I looked at a few months prior. So May, that 976 number was 1,298. June was 1,198. July was 1,061. And August, of course, now 976. So what are we seeing, Donna? Thank you for volunteering. What do you see in that chart?
Well, we have the pattern, clear pattern of slowing down, during the summertime, and then it goes right back up.
Right.
during the season.
Right, and the question is it purely seasonal? Because every year at this time, we see less homes being sold on average, although the summer is usually pretty good. But it'll be interesting to continue to track this chart to see if that trend continues, if we start to see less homes sold, more inventory tick up, or if that starts to tick up again as we go into the season. So as Kana said, you look at the highs and the lows. So most of the highs are around July, maybe June, and then they dip down August, September, October, and then it goes back up in the season, right? As we start to see more listings come on. So I think we'd all agree that we'd all like to see more listings, right? It would solve a lot of problems. Okay.
I'd like to see more listings here.
Yeah.
Let's take them all.
You know, I'm really disappointed Michael Charles left.
You got a bigger name on the other line.
All right, let's skip to home sales by city.
Okay.
Okay, so home sales by city, again, interesting to look at, and over time, as we continue to look at this month after month after month, it'll be interesting to track these. I went back and I looked at La Quinta. So La Quinta in May had 240 homes sold. La Quinta in June, 220, in July, 181, and then 156 in August. So starting to see a little bit of a trend, right? Less homes being sold. Again, is it seasonal? Is it just because we're in the summer months? Hard to say. I guess we'll find out as we go forward. I also looked at Palm Springs because, as we know, that's a really hot market. And Palm Springs, May 226, June 221, July 205, and of course August ticked up a little bit to 209. So again, most of the cities are seeing an increase over last year. So blue is this year, gold or yellow, whatever that is last year. La Quinta actually saw, on a 3-month average, saw more homes sold last year at this time, 162 versus 156. So interesting. Indio 115, 116, Rancho Mirage 87.96. So that seems to be evening out to where we were last year at this time, which again was still kind of crazy. Okay, home sales by price range. This is another chart that I pay a lot of attention to, and we all should pay attention to it. So if you look at the most homes sold by far, are the biggest increase, I should say, is in that 1 million plus, right? So that's on the far right. So there were 139 homes sold in the million plus, as opposed to 93 last year on this 3-month average. So again, I went back and looked at a couple prior months. So May it was 200, so a million plus. We had 200 homes sold. June 187, July 157, and then August 139. So again, even though that part of the market's been super hot, that seems to be slowing a little bit as well. And I keep saying relative because it's relatively slower. I'm not saying that the bottom's dropped out. I'm just saying it's been, compared to where we've been and how hot the market's been, it seems to me, and I think we're seeing this trend nationwide, that it seems to be slowing a little bit. Okay. One other thing I looked at was the 500 to 700 range. So I combined 500,000 to 600,000, 600 to 700,000. And what I found was that, because that's where a lot of the homes are, right? So in May of this year was 165 in those two categories. June was 229. Okay. July was 224 total combined, and August was 215. So again, starting to see a little bit of a trend. Could be seasonal, could just because of the summer, right? Okay. Valley housing inventory. This has been dropping like a rock, and as you can see, it's been dropping like a rock since about 2017. But we're starting to see a little bit, to Gina's point, a little bit of an uptick in inventory. So in March, we were at 742, April 710, May 681, June 654, which is the lowest it's been. saw an uptick in July to 791, and then in August, 836. So since June, the low of 654 to this month, we've had an increase of 177 listings. So that's going to be really interesting to watch to see if that number continues to increase, because we all know that if it does, it's going to make life a little bit easier, obviously for buyers. And again, what I've seen is that I deal with a lot of buyers, some of you too. There's a lot of FHA and VA buyers that have just given up. I mean, they're just like, I'm just going to wait. First time home buyers, it's tough. I mean, cash has been king, and I think that's going to continue. And hopefully, we'll start to see an increase in inventory in this office, and we'll start to see that grow. Okay. Excellent. So months of sales ratio, still under a month. I'm going to skip it to the next one, because they go to the next one. We put in some cool new charts. Yes, one more. One more. Okay, this is cool. I'm really glad they did this, because it really does demonstrate the days in market. Okay, so if the blue chart is August, okay, and the white one is a year ago. Okay, and they broke it out by city, which is really cool. So in Desert Hot Springs, average days in the market 14, Palm Springs 19, Casita City 20, Coachella 26, Indio 24, Rancho Mirage 25, La Quinta 27, Palm Desert 26, Bermuda Dunes 29, and Indian Wells 36. What stands out to me, Rancho Mirage this year was 25, last year was 77 days on the market, so that's 1 year, right? Last year in La Quinta, it was what, 53, it was 27, so I like the way they did that. So the top chart is single family homes, attached homes, and it breaks out every one of the cities, which is, I'm really glad they did that. And if you look at condos, same thing, and the story's the same. Days in the market, for the most part, is under 30, with only one exception, that's Indian Wells at 36, which is phenomenal. I mean, you can remember when Indian Wells was like 700 or something. It was crazy.
A year or more was not uncommon.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So I mean, 36 days in Indian Wells on the market is phenomenal. So that's a great chart. I'm glad they did that.
Forward?
Yes. Let's go to the next one, because it breaks. So they also break out price discount in cities, which again, I'm so glad they did this, because it makes it so much easier for us when we're making a listing presentation or talking to buyers. We can actually show them where we are in terms of the price discount. So again, the price discount, for everybody who doesn't understand that, is from the list price. Okay. So if the list price of a home is $300,000, right? We used to hover around 2.5% of discount from that price. So 100,000 would be $2,300, right? So every 100,000, it used to be about $2,300 that it would be discounted. In other words, a buyer would make an offer $2,300 less than what it was at, right? So if you look at this chart, does that make sense? Yeah. And it's from the last listed price. Okay, it's not from where it started. If it has price reductions, and from where it sold when it was listed, where it listed when it was sold. Okay, so Palm Springs 3.4% above list price. So last year at this time, every city, with only one exception, Coachella, was selling below list price, and the only city that sold below list price was Indian Wells at 1.4. So everything else was above. Palm Desert was 0.7 above, Bermuda Dunes 1%, La Quinta 1.3, City of Coachella 1.5, 1.6, and Rancho Mirage. Indio 2%, Desert Hot Springs 2.2, Casita City 2.4, and of course Palm Springs 3.4% above on average list price. Okay, so that's going to be really interesting as we go into the season with more inventory to track that and really take a good hard look at that month after month. And then the bottom obviously is attached home condos, Cathedral City 4.1, Palm Springs 2.8, so on and so forth. So again, condos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the cities are above list price. The only ones that weren't were Bermuda Dunes and India, which of course there's not a lot of condos in those two cities, right? So that's why that's not a huge number. Questions on that one? Again, when you're talking to your, well, let me ask you. So career. Use that in a presentation to a buyer. You're talking to a buyer with a single family, looking at a single family home in Rancho Mirage.
Palm Springs,
Okay,
because that's
Palm
what I'm
Springs.
looking for right now.
Oh, hi, Michael. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I appreciate it.
You're late.
Well, thank you all for coming.
More important than you.
Okay, so let's say Palm Springs, you're talking to a buyer. How would you use this chart in a
Well, actually, I'm gonna send it to them. I've sent them the report for August already.
Okay.
But we've been trying to find a short-term rental, like just sold their home in Cathedral City. And they want to stay under 800,000 in Palm Springs. So, you know, and it has to be perfect. So, I'm sure y'all got my email about, does anybody know of? And Rebecca May was nice enough to show us a listing, but they don't want to pay that much for that house. Anyway, so, the way I would do it, I'd be like, hey, Tina and Vito, you know, just on average, you know, now I'm not going to do the math in my head.
Yeah.
If it's listed at 800,000, it's probably going to sell for about 3.5% more.
Right.
So you have to be prepared if you want that house to come in with those extra funds.
Right.
And, or else we're just going to have to focus on the 750, and there really is no inventory. I check every day, several times a day, plus I'm on a drip. I have you on a drip. And if you see anything online, I'm checking real estate sites, you know, but all in all, you have to know that they are selling for, on average, 3.4 for 3.5% more than the list.
Cool. That's good. Lisa, thanks for volunteering. So if you have a seller, right, a seller who is thinking about selling their condo in Cathedral City, how would you work this into that presentation?
Okay, so,
Condo, bottom line.
condo, so we're looking at the detached, right?
Uh-huh.
And,
Attached, sorry, bottom one. Attached.
okay. So,
Let's say they want to list at 10% above list.
in.
They're like,
Cathedral
market's
City?
hot. I want to sell this condo for 10% above list price.
And Cathedral City, correct?
Yeah.
So obviously, they're gonna be, they're selling for 4.1 above price.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't
But Lisa, I
suggest,
want to sell for 10% above this. Market's hot, man. Come on.
well, you know, you can always start higher, but right now at the stats in August, they were at 4.1. And that's typically what they're going for. If you still want to go at 10%, it may sit a little bit, but you know, there's always price reductions. You can go back down. But, you know, this is the trend and what's happening. And, you know, this was August, but
Good. Yeah, and I think to Mark Stark's point a few months ago, I personally think, my personal opinion, it's really important to understand this chart in particular, because I think the difficult conversation is going to be a few months from now. Let's just say inventory does tick up, right? And then all of a sudden prices do start to drop. And that seller who's been on the fence for the last year and a half says, I'm ready to go, but I want 850. My neighbor got 850 down the street. And you're going to walk in there and say, well, you know, you're a little late to the party. Remember that story about BB O'Brien's? It's like 140. You got 20 more minutes to the last call, but you better make it quick. I think that's going to be the difficult conversations is a few months or a year from now when a lot of those sellers who missed the boat and when these numbers start to go down, that's going to be the difficult conversation. That's why I implore you to really study these charts and use these in both your buyer and seller presentations because they make you the expert, right? I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Questions? Michael, any questions?
No, I just.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Very informative.
And one more last point. Again, these charts are really great to send to clients. You can do Facebook posts, Instagram posts, LinkedIn posts, all of that, you know, on particular stats and things like that. So.
And you know, the things I love about these charts, and Mark, you present them so well. Thank you so very much for doing this.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome, Mike. Thank you very much.
But you know, Mark is absolutely right. As more listings start coming available on the market, these are conversations we're going to have with our sellers and explain what's really going on in the market because, you know, they're listening to the neighbor that sold for 100,000 over market. They're talking to a brother in another state. They're talking to all these people who are giving them real estate advice, but what they really need to see are the numbers. And we can stand up every day of the week and say, well, let me tell you how much I know and how much I've sold. They're not going to hear us. It's going to fall on deaf ears. But if you present the facts right from the MLS saying, here's the numbers, here's what's really happening today, you know, it's much harder to argue with that. And so it's really important. Thank you. Okay, any questions for Mark or how to present any of it?
I missed the first part.
Good news is it's recorded,
Okay.
and you'll even be able to hear all the things we said about you.
Awesome.
On the world like
Ah, that's fun. Okay, so pulling this all together, and I'm trying to make it all make sense. How many of you have been on the National Resource Center under the IQ system? Okay, well, I'm glad we're talking about this because whether you're new or whether you're highly seasoned, this IQ system is there to help elevate your business. Again, the IQ system is about bridging that loyalty gap. It's about retaining past clients. So even more important for seasoned agents to understand, we have to pull this all together and make it work. And so there's a couple videos here. They're all 2 minutes, so it's not long. But I want you to see this. Go. I'm in the resource center now.
Welcome to the My Real Estate Ecosystem section of the Real Estate IQ system. So what exactly is an ecosystem in real estate? While the term ecosystem might be a new one to you, I can guarantee the concept is something you've been leveraging since you first started in the business. As part of our mission to help elevate, expand, and deepen your real estate influence throughout your community, we want you to be more preemptive, or call it top of mind, in the minds of consumers when they think of real estate. When consumers are surveyed about who they would contact about real estate, they routinely say they first go to friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, and sometimes even financial planners before they consult a real estate professional. Folks, that is a broken model. Imagine a consumer consulting with friends and neighbors about important health matters before calling a doctor, about taxes before contacting an accountant, or about legal issues before calling an attorney. It's crazy. This is where your real estate ecosystem comes into play. Your network of trusted professionals that you are associated with, including financial estate planners, accountants, lenders, inspectors, warranty companies, pool contractors, even roofers, to name a few. Let's make up your professional network. It also represents a universe of value that your prospects, clients, and community must associate with your value. In order to start to eliminate the real estate loyalty gap within your client and consumer network, you and your ecosystem need to be top of mind before they make their next real estate decision. Your consumers, they must know and appreciate, value, and more importantly, be eager to engage with you for all of their real estate needs. You will achieve this objective by better developing, expanding, and promoting the entire value associated with your real estate ecosystem. Let's dive in and learn how to build a powerful real estate ecosystem and become the agent of choice before a consumer, starts to think about their next real estate transaction.
So going in here, and then just two more quick ones here. It's about setting up your systems. Here, Kim. You're going to be that person everybody's going to go to first because you have the information that they need. Not necessarily just real estate related, but business related.
Hi, I'm Kim Nathanson with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Arizona Properties. Building and leveraging a great ecosystem by partnering up with local businesses and service providers can make you a better real estate agent by setting you apart as an expert in concierge services and deliverables in your area. When making a move, there are services your client may need to utilize, and they want to be able to do that with confidence. Whether it's a local move or a client relocating and moving long distance, Providing them with reliable and high-quality vendor service is an important part of our job as realtors. Look, anyone can pull a name off the internet, but personally knowing the service provider and their quality of work is important when referring someone. How do you build your ecosystem? Well, first, prepare a list of existing relationships you have with businesses and service providers in your community. Break your list down into two categories: direct business connections to real estate and extension business connections to real estate. Direct business connections can be anyone from home and termite inspectors, mortgage lenders, title and escrow officers, real estate attorneys, and property management. Your extension business connections list can be extensive and include moving and packing services, home remodeling and repair services, appliances, lighting, and hardware providers, landscaping, pool services, house cleaners, home designers, even a dog groom, a jeweler, or your favorite caterer. If you don't have many existing business relationships, you can always join a business networking group, your local chamber of commerce, or ask the business partners you're currently working with if they belong to a networking group. When it comes to local businesses, partner up with small businesses and the places you love in the community. It's easy to connect with the places you frequent often. They know you and you know them. For the businesses you don't know, be prepared for a first meeting. Whether it's over a cup of coffee, lunch, or just a quick meeting, be ready to connect by knowing what to say. The IQ system has some great examples. Make sure the partners you choose are a good fit. They should have similar values and work ethic that you have. Because remember, these relationships that you are building are an extension of you. If they don't represent their business well, they will present yours poorly too. After you develop your list of businesses and service providers, get the word out. Follow and promote each other on social media. Do a video together at the business. Post a client appreciation event. Or do a Zoom Q&A about their business.
Yeah, I'm on mute.
Being a trusted real estate advisor who connects people with services and local businesses will allow you to leverage connections, grow your business, make you the community influencer and the forever agent.
Okay, and then there's one more that I will, and then we'll talk about how to pull this all together. And if you're, can you mute yourself?
Will you look here and see if
Oh, hang on, let me get, Mike, can you mute?
they can hear?
Your camera off?
Yes.
And let me- Mike Craig, could you mute yourself, please?
Oh, mute myself? Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
So what is a real estate business ecosystem? Why would you have one? How do you create it? Once you create it, how do you maintain it? That's what we're going to take a second and talk about today. Hi, I'm Matt Vye with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Florida Properties Group in sunny Clearwater, Florida. A real estate business ecosystem is a group of companies collaborating together to maximize their efforts to give the best shared customer service experience. Why an agent would do it is really simple. They want to make sure that they stay at the center of their customers' life cycle of home ownership. So think about it. Good agents, they do it. Great agents, they really know how to leverage their ecosystem. But forever agents, they know how to influence their ecosystem. So how do you create it? First of all, you have to make sure that you have like-minded people in that ecosystem. That means people with similar work ethic and similar values. Two, you have to make sure everyone has the same expectation when it comes to reciprocation of referrals. And three, everyone has to be on the same business life cycle. You want to make sure that they're comfortable using the same type of tools that you're using in order to leverage your businesses together the best. Once you have a real estate business ecosystem in place, then you have to maintain it. The first step to maintaining it is making sure you set the proper expectations on the front end. Then you have to make sure that you honor the platinum rule with everyone else's customers that are being referred to you. That means treating them the way that the person who referred them wanted them to be treated. The third thing you have to make sure to maintain that is you really have to treat them as a collaborative partner. You can't treat them as just a service provider. So remember, a strong network of collaborating collaborating companies maximizes the shared customer experience. And what that does is that actually closes the loyalty gap. The second thing that you need to remember is it's going to create a system that allows you to stay at the center of the real estate life cycle of the customers you're dealing with. The third thing is if you maintain it properly and you set the right expectations on the front end, you're going to honor the platinum rule, and it's going to help everyone in the situation benefit more from a higher level of customer service, a maximized level of customer service. All of this together keeps you at the center of that life cycle of home ownership by making sure you're the most influential person that they know in real estate. The key to all of this is staying focused on your ecosystem, which allows you to be influential and become their forever agent.
So one of the things I hear is I don't know where to get leads. I don't know where to meet people. You know, I've got my sphere of influence in my CRM. They're on my drip system. I've got my farm in. I don't know what to do next. And I hear that a lot. And I've got to tell you, businesses are a huge part of our business, right? And pulling in different providers, I mean, she even mentioned dog groomers. I mean, how many people move to the area and say, where do you take your pet, right? So, I mean, this information is very helpful information, but here's what is more important that I hope you got out of it. If you don't have this group of people, or if you're thinking, well, gosh, I don't know who to use, go out and meet people. Go out and meet business owners. Ask for the owner. Ask for the managers. Introduce yourself. I mean, it's not like door knocking doors. You're basically going into businesses and saying, hey, I would like to introduce myself. I'm with Berkshire Hathaway. I do a lot of business here. You know, I'd like to just sit down and have a cup of coffee with you and talk about your business. What do you do? What are your values? What are you trying to do? Because I think maybe we can help each other, right? When people are moving into the area, I can refer them to you, right? If people are coming to the area looking, maybe we can network a little bit. So it's an opportunity to be able to get out there, meet some like-minded business owners, and do some networking. But imagine the value now if you have this, I guess, binder of names when people are needing something, and you can say, you know what, I work closely with the dry cleaner across the street. His name is this, and you know, go give him a call or whatnot. You now become a little bit more valuable than the agent who just wants to put the sign in the yard, right? You're now an influencer in the business. And that's what it's all about. That's what's keeping that loyalty. And if you have that and you build on it, it could be pretty awesome. So if you have some extra time, literally go into the IQ system. I'm in the resource center. Let me show you here just where to go. If you go into the resource center, here's the homepage that you log into. If you want to know, they've got live webinar. They're just hour-long, you know, classes that you could, if you wanted to see what's coming up, you can click here. And you can see the calendar, what's happening. So today, or actually tomorrow, there's a women who lead, and then there's a website certification. There's IQ system orientation. So if you've not gone through the orientation, you can go in here, click and register. The information you're going to get is invaluable. Coming back home here, if I now wanted to come in and click on the IQ system, here is information about getting started. Here's my real estate ecosystem, but the whole, I mean, it'll take you literally step by step, and you can even test your real estate IQ right there. Now, what does that mean, IQ? That's the influencer quotient. It's, are you a real estate influencer? And you can, it's just a quick little thing that you answer some questions, and it'll tell you where you are on the influencer chart. And if you're not quite there, it gives you suggestions of what you can do to build your business and become more of an influencer. It's attracting people to you and your business. So it's awesome. Influence leadership, my business vision, wealth creation, business and marketing, and there's all kinds of stuff here. The campsite calendar, that's a lot of fun, my personal brand. So lots of good things to go in and learn and really focus on the actual building your business part. But have a variety of your alliance providers, right? People that you do business with, whether it be home inspectors, termite inspectors, windows are a big deal out here in some areas. If I should go to Sun City, and windows are always an issue. So, I mean, it's nice to have these people in your binder. Providing value to your closed clients through a targeted list of preferred alliance solution providers, communicating with your closed clients consistently during the time they own their home. So they close escrow, that's when you really need to stay close to them. I mean, not pounding them or hounding them, but stay in touch with them. I can't tell you the number of clients who have come to me and said, can I ask you a question? When escrow closes, am I going to hear from you again? And I always thought that when the first time that was asked, I always thought that was an interesting question. I said, well, I certainly hope so. Why would you ask that? And this one woman did say, well, because the last couple of times I've used realtors, we closed escrow and I never heard from them again. And she said, I honest to goodness, I thought we built a friendship, and I honest to goodness felt used. And I thought, wow. So just when you think that, you're not making a difference in someone's life and you're just there to close an escrow and move on to the next, you could not be further from the truth. You're building relationships. You need to stay close to them. So you can, by really closing that loyalty gap, when they decide to do more business, you will be top of mind. So here's some steps here. Enter your sphere of influence into your CRM. Get them, make sure their emails are there, and put them, you can set them up with different statuses. They're active, they're nurtured, they're closed. Your lead categories, where did you find them? I hope you're tracking where your leads are coming from, because that's, so many agents are spending money on leads, or they're, advertising or going into the newspaper. What is your return on that investment? Again, guys, this is a business and you want to make sure you're tracking this. So if you're at an open house, for example, and someone walks in, one of your first questions should be, how did you find me today, right? Is it from a sign? Oh, I saw it in the newspaper. Hey, how about if I saw it on the internet? I was clicking. Maybe your AdWords ad is what sent them in, right? But if that's how they're coming to you, you need to track that so you know this is where your biggest return on investment is coming from. So make sure you're tracking your leads and then categorize them. Determine what engagement plan should be assigned to each person in your client base. At least one contact a month. It could be your newsletter, right? It could be birthday wishes, tax records, and that's a big deal. People close escrow. One of the things that they need to do is give that closing statement to their CPA, right? Come tax time, do you think it would be great to pull out, look at your past closings for the last year, and then say, all right, pull the file, pull out the closing statement, and send it to your client at tax time saying, hey, thought of you. I know you're going to need this for your taxes. I hope it helps. Have a great day. You just made their life easier because they're thinking, where the heck did I put all my stuff in the house, right? So are you jumping in and doing it at that time? It saves them. The CMA or an updated market report so they can see what's going on in their development. Just a great way to stay in touch and keep close to past clients. And so this is actually 4 pages long. It's in the resource center. I will email it out with the attachments or with the handouts here, but you can actually start building your ecosystem. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's just got different categories, and go through there. And if you don't have somebody in that category that you've already been using and you like, maybe this is a good opportunity for you to now go meet a couple people. Just have that conversation. Make sure that their business model, their mindset is the same as yours. Great service, raise that bar. Customer service is 100% critical in this business. I mean, you have to take care of your clients. So go through the list when you get it. You can pull it up if you want to beforehand, and it's in the resource center, but it will help start building you. So now you've got one more way of generating leads for your business on a regular basis. Plus, when you start networking with them, now you've got this referral base also coming to you. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Okay, one more thing, it is Realtor Safety Month. Just a couple reminders because, you know, we are out there in public and we need to take care of ourselves. So always meet new clients at the office or in a neutral location like a coffee shop. You know, it's always good if you bring them into the office, introduce them to a couple people so we can see what they look like and whatnot. That's not a bad idea. Share your schedule with your colleagues, assistant, or a family member. Communicate safety concerns on your listing. If you, if it's your listing and you know wherever it is, like for me, it was Mountain Center. Anytime I had a listing in Mountain Center, it was really challenging for the cell reception, right? So you might want to put a little note, you know, where your charger, booster, or whatever, cell reception, not great. However, but at least let people know if there's an issue, let them know. Do not overshare about your personal life. And I'm going to say that again. Do not overshare about your personal life. This is a people business. We want to get personal and let them get to know us a little bit, but it's business. We need to know about them, right, to help them, but be careful what you're sharing because in the past, we've had a couple of issues with people and they seem to know everything about the agents and their families and friends to make you think, oh, this person is a good friend of this person. And no, it's just they track them and stalk them on Facebook, right? And so a true story, true story. So just be careful when you're posting and what you're posting, and just be mindful that you're out there in the public. And so people are going to be able to see you. And especially if you're doing open houses, they know where you are. If you're, you know, every time you go someplace, it's probably best if you don't post while you're there. Maybe wait till you get home safely and then say, yeah, I had a great dinner at this place. So they're not sitting outside waiting for you when they come out. I mean, things to think about. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm just be aware, okay? Check your cell phone batteries and signals before heading to your appointment. Don't hold open houses alone. It's always, especially today, they're kind of busy today. So you want a second person there anyway. So if you can get a second person to go with you, sometimes people say, Gina, can my spouse or my partner go with me? The answer is absolutely. They cannot discuss real estate without a license, but yes, you can have a second person sitting there. That's not a problem whatsoever. If you're showing the house, direct your clients to walk in front of you when touring the property. Never get in front of them. You don't want to lead them ever because you can get yourself into a corner that way. Show them down the hallway. Let them walk down before you. You know, look. Don't go into the bedrooms first. They can close the door, right? Just be mindful of where the exits are. Again, I know I say this all the time. Never park in the driveway. Always park in the street. Am I missing something?
Oh, she just pointed out. I got lost somewhere.
You did?
Oh, I showed a house. It was after my clients left. I went on the balcony and the door closed and it wasn't the same key as the front door. So I called Abraham.
Wow.
I laugh about it all the time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, always make sure doors are not locked behind you. Bless your heart.
I was upstairs and the neighbors.
And when Abraham got done laughing, when he came and rescued you. Thank you, Abraham. Oh my goodness. And then of course, this is a no-brainer. Don't go into attics, crawl spaces, or garages or balconies. You can be trapped. So anyway, heads up, guys. Branding, not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, marketing is going to be here with a bunch of samples of listing presentation tools. Actually, we're going to do our meeting, won't be a regular meeting. It's going to be more of a workshop, getting your listing presentation put together. It'll be valley-wide. The 3 offices will be here. All the managers will be here. Marketing will be here. And then samples of everything. So when you leave, you can have your presentations ready to go. The only thing we may not have are those beautiful black boxes. I will have a couple to show you what they look like. but they are, they have been back ordered. They've been late. I guess Maria said that, the ship's out in the middle of the water, had them sitting there for some time. And the shipment she got now is destroyed. So she's got to send those back, but we'll get more, but be here for that, because as we get more listings, you have to be prepared. You have to be ready to go. And these listing presentations are a 10. I'm just saying, they are better than anything that's out there. So of course, if you want to reach out, talk to marketing, there's the number, or just email marketing@dhhscaproperties.com. Okay, I just told you about that. Oh, and it's going to start at 9 instead of 9:30 because Maria needs to get back before 3. Save the dates, Valley-wide meeting with Mark Stark will be October 20th. I'm so excited. He's going to be here in the office. Actually, that'll be a really busy day. We've even got Gino Bleferi, who's the chairman of Home Services, is coming out to meet with the managers. And so it'll be a big day, but the Valley-wide with Mark, you definitely don't want to miss that. And mark your calendar for Friday, December 10th, 6 to 10 for the holiday party. It's going to be fun.
I can't wait to hear more about
I
it.
know. We're working on the invites and details. It's got to be just right, but you won't be sorry. It'll be cool. Okay. Today, actually, is this? Yeah, he is doing it. He's at Summit in Coronado right now. There's a Berkshire event going on, but he is going to be live from the Summit Conference today at 1:30. And next week, starting the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, we've got Rick Baruti doing his success series. And that's the link, the Google link at the bottom to join if you would like to join Rick's coaching. Amanda.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't have a lot of updates this week, but Sky Slope class tomorrow. It's every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Make sure you guys sign up if you haven't taken the master class yet.
That is cool. Have you guys done all the Sky Slope Master Class with the forms yet? If you haven't, here's why you should take it. The other day, I was working on something with an agent. I thought, I'm just going to do this and learn this. And I went into the forms. It literally will pull up all the forms from Zip Forms right into Sky Slope. You can fill it, and because you've got, it's asking you prompted questions. Who's the seller? Who's the buyer? What's the address? What's blah, blah, blah. So you're answering these questions. When you go to the contracts, all this information is pre-filled in for you. So you just have to put in a few more items, like the purchase price and stuff like that. When it's done, it says ready to send. It will send it out for digital signature right there. You can open your file. It pulls in all the file information. And then when everything's signed, it goes right into the documents tab of your file, all in one spot. It is super easy, super clean, and it is easier than you can even just imagine. So, but if you've not done it, try it. It's going to save you some time.
Tomorrow at 10 a.m. They have them every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. It's a Sky Slope Masterclass. It's online, but we could play it here in the bullpen. So if you don't know how to log in or register and you just want to watch it, we'll have it playing here, and then you can come and watch it.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, it skips out on the whole Zip Forms, and then you're able to set up your template. So you'll have your template set up for either side, your listing or your purchase side, and it saves you on a lot of time, and you don't even have to use DocuSign.
I know.
So
Yeah, it's really sweet.
My question is, so you don't have to assign like with what you do with the DocuSign, DigiSign? How the DigiSign, you have to assign where you.
No, it's all that. It's the forms are filled out.
That's good.
It's really good. The only forms you have to go in and put the little things are the PDF.
The PDFs like
Yeah,
are
affiliated.
are affiliated forms, but it
Yeah.
cuts down a lot of time. I personally don't really like Zip Forms, but
It is what it is.
Yeah.
We're kind of stuck, but this does help it
yeah,
tremendously.
it does.
And they really
like that.
upped the game with DigiSign. They've made it, it's very similar to DocuSign now.
You can see
So
the
you
words.
can, it's so much easier. Before it was much harder.
Yeah, before the only
And then-
reason why I had to sign DocuSign was because of that. With the
You had to do
DigiSign,
it
I
every
had to
time.
Sign it every time.
I know, I hated that. I always ended up with extra initial spaces,
I know,
signature
right?
places, because you like accidentally stutter as you're clicking and going, oh, what's this signature here for? I don't know. But yeah, so it's a great class. Definitely want to do it. And then remember, if you just want to spend some time, reviewing anything, brainstorming, coaching, or whatever you need, don't ever think, oh, well, she's busy. I am never too busy for you. This is what I do. And I want to help you be hugely successful, because when you're successful, we're successful, right? And so let's work together. You can go to my Calendly link anytime and just set an appointment, and I'll get a notification saying, this person has scheduled a meeting with you, and it's like, hey, I get so excited. So never hesitate. And that's what I have for you here. Let me stop sharing my screen and we'll see everybody. Hi, everyone. Everyone back here. And any questions? No, any questions here?
I do have a question.
Yes.
My listing that I had forever since May, we renovating the house. We have done so much. Remove popcorns, single pane windows to double pane windows, all the cabinets, all the walls painted, rip up every carpet and put the nice laminate floor, granite countertop, quartz countertop in the bathroom. You name it, we've done it. New appliances. It's listed at $399 in the Detached home, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,400. No pool. No curb appeal, but there's a plenty of room in front to put a pool or whatever.
It's a great price in the code.
And I did go in, I spent so much time at painting and retouching. I even put the backsplash myself. And I went to, I staged that.
When does it hit the market?
Huh?
When does it hit the market?
I'm hoping to put it on the market on Thursday. This morning took the photographer went and took pictures, so hopefully the turn out great, but hopefully on Thursday I'm gonna post it.
Wonderful. It'll be sold in like 5 minutes.
I hope so.
So line your buyers up now. That's a great price point. Thank you. Greer.
I'm looking for, like I said earlier, a listing in Palm Springs by buyers. Needs to be able to be used for short-term rental. They're investors out of Canada, and I need to stay under 800,000. So if anybody hears of anything, I know it doesn't exist. Check all the time. So. And then also one more question: is anybody else having issues with our Flex MLS? Because they'll text me or email me and say, "Oh, look at this house," and then I pull it up. And I'll pull up the area and it doesn't show. But if I put the address in the search bar, then it shows up. I've even come across some issues where if I click the pool and then it's private, then if I unclick private, then it'll show up. I mean, there's so many.
I've had problems where I type in the address, it doesn't show up, but it's listed from another broker.
Another
from
MLS.
county or something. I'm like,
Right,
why
I've
isn't it
had
pulling
tons
up?
of issues. I've called the MLS on it, and I actually started with my neighborhood because all the other multiple listing services have Palm Desert Country Club as Palm Desert CC, or no, Palm Desert Country, and we had it as Palm Desert CC. So like half the listings in my neighborhood do not show up because it doesn't play well with other MLSs. So then I called them. They changed it to Palm Desert Country Club. I'm like, it's Palm Desert Country. And so, the issue is still there. But I was just wondering if anybody else is having that, because I don't like looking stupid in front of my clients when they're like sending me stuff and I'm supposed to be a professional.
Yeah.
I'll call them again.
Yeah.
I'm nice when I call them.
Normally, when and we can do this after the meeting, but when you're searching for the area, what I will normally do is on the map search, I'll do it via the map search at the top, not the area underneath it. And the reason is because we do have a lot of out of area agents that will list properties and they don't necessarily know what development to put it in. So they just leave it blank and it doesn't show up. If we're pulling up, for example, Palm Desert Country, it doesn't show up, but we know it's for sale. But then when you search by map, it pops up. And that's because when you search by the map location, every listing in that geographic area will show regardless of what subdivision they put it in, right? So that might
I mean,
help.
like you said, I
I've done- I've done that
put the
too.
address in the search bar
Yeah.
and it doesn't show up, but I go to Google and put it in there and see if through Redfin it's listed, and then I find it's.
Yeah, that's, I'm finding
You
out
know?
things about real estate
You
sites.
know, then I'm like, what, why isn't it showing
I
up?
know
as
there's
what?
been a few hiccups with the CRMLS and our Flex. And there's, I guess, two different flexes. There's a Flex that's powered by Vesta, and then there's a Flex that's powered by something else, and I don't know. It would be great if we didn't have to deal with. so
Well,
many
I
different
love
ones,
to
but
align the
it is what it
algorithm,
is.
so they all play well with others, you
Yeah.
know?
Gina,
Yes.
has anybody heard anything about short-term vacation rentals and what he got? I heard from a Timos guy, HVAC guy. They're gonna do away with it.
Put it
Yeah.
in order.
Really?
Wow, yeah. Quite a while.
Well, it's not
Well,
just
I
looking to, it's most cities.
Yeah.
Rancho Mirage just
I mean,
filed
their
for that as
grandfathers, the
well.
ones
Home
that are in,
desert
the
used to
ones that are
have
in,
little
good, but for new
pockets.
permits, kibosh, nope.
Really?
Yeah.
And the others, like Palm Desert,
Home
same
Desert
way?
used
No,
to
Palm
have-
Desert shaded, they have some areas.
No,
south,
not
but-
anymore.
Really?
They changed it. There's no R1, anything under R1 or R2 cannot be short-term rental or rented,
Unless it's in an HOA that allows it.
unless it's in an HOA that allows it. That's the only caveat to that.
Have you heard
But
anything about
R3
Rancho
can,
Mirage?
Rancho Mirage is filed for,
Yeah.
stopping short-term rental.
And
Cathedral City,
Cathedral
no.
City's done.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Video, some parts of video still allow it.
Yeah.
So that's why that's
Yeah.
booming
Indian
so
Homes
big.
Country Club,
Indio,
there are
Bermuda
places
Dunes,
that allow it.
Bermuda Dunes,
Yeah.
Next door to Lisa's house.
Palm Springs.
Rate your party. No.
And in Palm Springs is good.
You know, I'll check
Housing
with the
Palm.
city, just check with the city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bermuda
that's your
Dunes
best
because
bet
it's
right
under
now.
a County,
Mhm.
you know, it's not under a city.
But most, as long as it's more than 30 days, you're okay. It's the weekend rentals that are
Yeah.
the issues.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, best practice, call and talk to the city first and say, what are the rules now? Because, you know, there's been a lot
Even their
of
websites
restrictions.
aren't updated sometimes.
Yeah.
Correct,
You know?
that's true.
Well, like Indian Wells Village, the board members on there are voting to keep it in. Those are those little pocket off, corner trail. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, I just noticed what time it is. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna end the meeting. You guys are welcome to stay as long as you want to chat. But thank you for being here. Let's make it a very productive and profitable week, and I am here for you.